What's going on, guys? It's Tom, or Talks in Wrestling, and today we're going to be looking at the lamest concept for a WWE pay-per-view of all time. A pay-per-view that even when I was 9 years old watching it at the time, I still thought it was lame as hell. We're going to be watching and talking about WWE Fatal 4-Way 2010. I'm slowly going to be rolling out more WWE themed content, so let me know in the comments what videos you'd like to see next regarding WWE. But before we do get into this video, I'd like to thank my Patreon supporters, Marky D, Efran Martin, Alan Barkley, and Gravedigger33. If you would like to see more exclusive content from me, then check out my Patreon below. It would really help me during these trying times and would be really appreciated. But let's get into the video. WWE Fatal 4-Way 2010 is live from the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, New York to 10,000 people. The concept of Fatal 4-Way, if you guessed, it's a Fatal 4-Way match themed pay-per-view. I mean, I know there's stipulation themed pay-per-views like Hell in the Cell, TLC, but those kind of do make sense. Whereas, what is the appeal to a Fatal 4-Way themed pay-per-view? We open with Vince McMahon coming out and saying that Raw GM Bret Hart is not here tonight. Oh my god, I forgot Bret Hart was the Raw GM at this time, and he's not here because he was viciously attacked by the Nexus. And there's a lot of tension around this event because, oh my god, are the Nexus going to be here? Are they going to attack? Who knows? The opening match sees Drew McIntyre, the Chosen One, challenging Kofi Kingston for the Intercontinental Championship. Crazy how 10 years later, these guys would be winning the WWE Championship. The storyline here is that Drew was the Intercontinental Champion, but Teddy Long stripped him of the title for unprofessional conduct. Kofi then won it, but then Drew returned and Vince gave the title back to him. Then Kofi won it back and Drew wants retribution on both Kofi and Teddy Long and Matt Hardy. It's a really weird, convoluted storyline, but the Drew McIntyre and Teddy Long side of things was really compelling, I will say. McIntyre spends most of this match in control and dominating over Kofi, but Kofi starts using his speed to get back into it. McIntyre hits the Future Shock on Kofi and gets the 3, but the ref is down so he doesn't count. Drew McIntyre then makes Teddy Long the referee. Drew pins Kofi again. Teddy gets to 2 but refuses to count to 3, which, by the way, this was about 2 minutes between the last pin, so you're telling me that Kofi took a Future Shock, 2 minutes later, still was down for a 3 count. Like, he looks completely weak there. Matt Hardy then runs out and hits Drew with the Twist of Fate. Kofi then hits the Trouble in Paradise, and Teddy Long counts the 3 for Kofi. So you're telling me that Drew McIntyre is the heel here. He won fair and square, and then lost due to interference and a biased referee. Yet he's the heel. 1.75 stars, the match in general dragged, and I had to take it down a bit of a rating because of that finish and the logic there. Like, what kind of logic is that? Next up, we have the first of 3 Fatal 4-Way title matches. This one for the Divas title. It's Maurice, Gail Kim, Alicia Fox, and Divas champion Eve Torres. And it's a Divas match in 2010, so take a guess how long this match is gonna last. This match was really sloppy and the crowd are very much dead for it. Eve hits the moonsault on Maurice after hitting a twisting neckbreaker, but then Alicia Fox breaks up the pin, throws Eve out the ring, and pins Maurice and steals the win to win the Divas Championship. So Alicia Fox is the new Divas Champion. This would be the only title win Alicia Fox ever had in the WWE, and as a whole, not the best way to have it, because this match was, like I said, very sloppy. I'll give it half a star. Next up, Chris Jericho is out for a match. He gets on the mic and starts putting himself over, and then starts whining over Evan Bourne hitting him with the Shooting Star Press this past week on Raw, and says he has challenged Evan Bourne to a rematch tonight, and this match is now. Evan Bourne comes out and I forgot how sick his theme song was. Some are born to fight. Evan Bourne is meant to be the defiant babyface here, but the crowd are just straight up chanting for Jericho and are firmly on Chris Jericho's side, and it's clear. Basically, how this match worked is whenever Jericho was in control, It was more slower paced, more methodical, whereas when Evan Bourne was in control or they were equal between each other, it was a lot more faster paced and more fun. Jericho does an amazing counter into the walls, which gets a huge pop, and when Bourne makes it to the ropes, there is an array of boos. Like I said, the crowd are firmly on Jericho's side. This match really does pick up though and starts to get really exciting. Jericho dodges the airborne and hits the codebreaker, but he took too long to pin Bourne, who gets his foot on the bottom rope. Evan Bourne then reverses the walls into a guillotine, into a DDT, then gets out of a superplex to hit the airborne on Jericho for a huge win. I'm going to give this match 3.25 stars. This match really picked up. It started off quite slow and got really better towards the end. I feel as though these guys could have had an even better pay-per-view match if they were given more of an opportunity. And around this time, I really thought they were going to push Evan Bourne, but they really went on to do nothing with him other than air boom and that mid-air RKO. And coming up next is a fatal 4-way match for the World Heavyweight Championship. The Big Show versus Masked CM Punk versus Rey Mysterio versus World Heavyweight Champion Jack Swagger. Yes, this was during Jack Swagger's reign of terror. Undertaker was supposed to be in this match, but he was found by Kane in a vegetative state. I can still barely say that word. And Kane believes one of these 4 men did it, and we're going to find out tonight who Kane believes attacked the Undertaker. Big Show toys around with Rey and lifts him into the ring with one hand, which was pretty crazy to watch. The story for the first part of the match is that nobody can take Big Show off his feet, but Rey is eventually able to, and once the Big Show is taken out, there's some really fast-paced action, particularly between Rey Mysterio and CM Punk, who are both brilliant at this time. Punk hits the GTS on Swagger and looks as though he could win. Everyone is down, and then Kane comes out. And who does Kane think attacks the Undertaker? He thinks it was CM Punk. Kane tries to put Punk in a casket, but Luke Gallows makes the save, and Punk and Gallows run away as Kane chases them down, meaning this match now has 3 people in it. But right after that, Mysterio hits the 619 on Swagger and pins him to become the world champion. Rey Mysterio is the world heavyweight champion. Let's hope this reign is better than his last world title reign. Oh, what's that? He lost it at the very next pay-per-view to Kane? Got it, okay, great. Either way, 3 stars for this match, regardless of how Rey's title reign went. 3 stars, it was a pretty good match here. Next up, we have a US title match. No, not a Fatal 4-Way match, but The Miz defends his title against R-Truth. The Miz comes out and says that he wrote new lyrics for What's Up. He basically just disses R-Truth and says The Miz in place of What's Up. His flow is very off, but I'll let it slide. The fans are very clearly bored throughout this match and are chanting Daniel Bryan, and to be honest, if I was there, I'd join them because this match was very much the cool down match. The Miz wins this match, reversing R-Truth to move whatever he was going for into a pinfall. 1 star, it was complete filler. We are now on to the penultimate match of the evening, as it's a 6-person mixed tag team match. It's Natalya, David Hart Smith and Tyson Kidd, the Hart Dynasty, versus the newly debuted Tamina and the Usos, Jimmy and Jay. Again, just more filler here, and this match I felt really dragged. It was less than 10 minutes, but it felt so long, and I feel like this match didn't really have a place being on a pay-per-view. Of course, it was Tamina and the Usos' debut, but it would take them, spoiler alert, they lose this match, but at this time in the company, Tamina and the Usos were jobbers. They wouldn't win the titles until 4 years after this, the Usos, and yeah, like I said, they lost. Natalya got the win for her team by pinning Tamina following her spinning clothesline thing, which apparently is called the Natty by Nature. Okay, cool. And yeah, like I said, Tamina and the Usos just spent the next few years jobbing after this. Like, they really didn't need to have this match on a pay-per-view for a team that would become jobbers. Like, it didn't really matter. Once again, 1 star. It was filler. Like, it was filler. And we are finally onto the main event of the show. It is, of course, a Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE Championship. It's Randy Orton, Edge, and Sheamus all going for John Cena's WWE title. Very star-studded match here. As long as Sheamus doesn't win, I'll be happy. This match took place very much in the midst of the Cena versus the World era, where Cena was always portrayed as the underdog, and Let's Go Cena versus Cena Sucks chants were loud and clear. This match was very slow at points, and that's to be expected. I mean, half of this match is taken up by Randy Orton and Sheamus. It was an alright match, it very much dragged, and it reflects the main issue with this pay-per-view. It's so hard to do a Fatal 4-Way themed pay-per-view and have all the 4-way matches feel different from one another. Especially if this match is just your stereotypical Fatal 4-Way match and told the same story as any other Fatal 4-Way match. 2 people in the ring while the other 2 sell until there's a breakup of a pinfall and someone else comes in and swaps out for another person. And yeah, it's just the same story, isn't it? R-Truth, Evan Bourne, and the Hart Dynasty are shown backstage watching and discussing the match, and they are attacked by the Nexus. The whole atmosphere gets very intense as everyone in the ring notices, and the announce team notice, and the commentary team then evacuate as they don't want to get hurt. The Nexus storm the ring and they take out everyone, including Cena and Edge, and through all this mess, Sheamus sneaks in after the beatdown and pins Cena to win the title. The one person I didn't want to win. I like Sheamus now, I love Sheamus now, but in 2010, no, just no. The Nexus then take it in turns, laying waste to Cena, and then chase Sheamus down to end the show. I'll give this match 2.75 stars. And I think that would be my overall rating for the show, 2.75 stars. Just an average to above average pay-per-view, really. Again, it's a pay-per-view that didn't really need to ever happen, and after this, they would never do a Fatal 4-Way again, other than like a takeover event where it was called Takeover Fatal 4-Way, and the main event was a Fatal 4-Way. That's the only time they've ever done like a Fatal 4-Way themed pay-per-view after this, but they should never come back to this. They should have never done it in the first place, and it didn't harm anyone, but it wasn't also a special pay-per-view either. Like I said, it was just above average to average. Evan Bourne versus Jericho definitely match of the night, but looking back at it in hindsight, Evan Bourne went on to do nothing, so it really didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Thanks for watching though, guys. If you did enjoy, then be sure to smack that like button. I'm going to be bringing more WWE content to the channel very soon. Just let me know in the comments what you want to see from me. I've got lots of plans for different things I want to cover, look back on, look at different superstar retrospectives. Like, there's so much I want to do, and I'm very excited for it. But just let me know what you want to see. I'll see you all soon. Goodbye, and keep on rolling.